manager of mine very early in my career. I didn't know how unique it was, what she was doing. So there was regular meetings that I was leading, and she was always an attendee or participant. And afterwards, we'd go for a cup of coffee. Sometimes we were walking side by side, depending on where we were going, and we would just have a conversation. And I know a lot of times she would share something like, I love what you're doing with how people are getting engaged. And she would point out things that I did, or how I asked the question, or how I made sure everyone was involved. And then she'd start talking about asking questions, not just telling me things, So, how are you going to follow up with everyone? What's going to come next? How do we know how the action plan is going to be implemented? So, of course, I started to think about the answers of what I was going to do, and I'd go on my merry way. And it wasn't until years later that I realized, like, this was just routine back and forth feedback between us. And I didn't realize how unique that was, that that wasn't the norm, that in most organizations I was at, you'd wait for the annual review. You would be told these things much more in these use statements. You'd hear them, you'd walk away like feeling cringy and disappointed and even upset with yourself, like, wow, I've been doing this for the whole year, and now I have to correct myself. And I didn't realize how unique it was to have these routine conversations where we didn't even call it feedback. It was just communication to us, that we would just go back and forth, and it was really easy for me to even go to her and talk about something I saw that she did and ask, like, how'd you decide to do it like that, even when it was a negative? We just used questions much more than the telling.